Well, we're back for some Bleach Soul Resonance, and I want to do a little bit of a count roundup because obviously it's been about a week since I've really, been on consistently and been able to just talk about things going on my account. So right here you can see World Conquest 3, a little piece I've got for Toshiro here, and this is one of the better pieces of gear I think on my entire account. Enhanced Ultimate on this piece is massive for the character. I mean, I don't think I have to tell anyone that. This makes me, again, hope that Toshiro's... What is it? I hope his weapon returns during the half Annie, because even though he might be getting, quote-unquote replaced soon, I do think this character's got a lot of juice in him. I mean, if I get his weapon, doesn't he go up to something like 76% crit here? Like, that's good. That's, like, way more than good enough. And I mean, with that, with like 76% crit, the stats from his weapon itself, like, I don't know, I think that like he'll go up to like nearly 4,000 attack, a little decent chunk of crit damage, big ult rate. Like, I don't know, I think it'll be really good. I think this is really a really nice setup. I'd like to see, I'd like to actually try at some point instead of just like not getting to use Toshiro because I was unsure of how much currency we'd be getting throughout the game's life. But yeah, I just wanted to show that piece off to say that I have been working on like things. I have been like upgrading here and there. The only characters I haven't really been upgrading are these ones down here, just because I don't know when I'll get back to them. I really don't. I feel like in a lot of cases you don't really need Komamura to do any more damage than he already does. Characters like Tosin I just never really had geared. I also dusted his weapon and Ikaku's weapon during the Mayuri patch to give Mayuri another dupe level. I don't know if I ever showed this, but I picked up a core stamp, Buto Engine, from doing the core stamp trials. But here is like another thing that I probably just won't be getting to this patch is I'm not going to put any more core stamps into this one because it's already at 50%. And with this character going away soon, I'd rather have a higher chance. I mean, this character does his job without his core stamp, genuinely. His core stamp is incredibly strong. I'm not saying it's not. It's very powerful. Within 20 seconds after using a special attack, all spirit characters gain 40% increased damage, or increased crit damage, and the on-field character gains 50% increased ult charge. I mean, this is very, 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 very powerful. This is really good. All of these are really good abilities, right? You're missing out on a lot by not having this character's core stamp. However, I have just not been able to pull it, and I'm currently at 50% chance to drop a core stamp the next time I fill the stamp corridor charge, right? So I figure, why continue to pull on this character when I could essentially guarantee myself Pantera Grimmjow's core stamp like immediately? So there's like another thing I'll probably just be ignoring once it comes around. If you see, like, we've got 3 hours until the weekly resupply, which means we've got 3 hours until all of this stuff goes up. So yeah, I figure there's no real reason to dip into that anymore. As far as Uncharted Realm, I've mostly been farming Kenpachi gear stamps. The reason is it just feels the most relevant to most characters. This 50% increased crit damage is huge. 20% base attack is huge. I would really suggest that if you're someone building, or not building anything actively, you don't have anything you're actively trying to achieve, that you go for the Kenpachi set. I just think it's like blankly very strong if we ever get any more characters like SR plus Grimmjow. Though this character set will probably switch over to something like what was I going to say? This character set will probably switch over to something like, whatever Pantera Grimmjow's is, actually. So it's not that important if you've already missed out. But yeah, other than that, yeah, not really been tinkering with too many characters' builds. One of my current issues is, and this is actually kind of like a, I guess, like, suffering from success, is I haven't really had anything I wanted to use. You can see I wasn't able to do this like autoing it when I was away, though I do need to go through and do all of these runs, so I will do that at some point because I want these imaginary fragments real bad. But I haven't really been able to spend my masterpiece research. You can see I have 28 of these, but I just don't really know what to use it on. I don't know what piece I'm really struggling for right now, and I think that's like it's a very funny dilemma to sort of have, honestly, because I'm just like, what character? I mean, now that I think about it, actually, I'm gonna scan out. Now that I think about it, I guess the best use case of this would be to get her a bunch of level 20, yeah, a bunch of level 20 gear pieces like this. So maybe I'll do that. I mean, Yoruichi deserves to be strong on my account. Like, we'll sort of talk about this next thing. She does have like a lot of very powerful upside outside of just like being, you know, replaced or something by Grimmjow or what have you. Like, I do think this character still has a lot of upside, and you can see we have a lot of pieces here that could be something. So yeah, I don't know. Now that we have this content right here, and as we will pull up to him. So this character, Yami Largo, is the world boss right now. You click on him, you get attempts during day, and we have enemies take more strike damage. Enemies take more strike damage means that you only really want to hit him with that type of element, right? You're not getting anything out of hitting him with, like, I mean, no duh. The reason I point that out though is like there's obviously not that many strike characters in the game if you don't actually build multiple strike DPSs, right? It can't really just be that you use one attempt and you solo DPS so far unless you ever B6. You then solo DPS, you know, Yoruichi, and then you solo DPS Grimmjow. It's just not how it's going to work, right? So as I've said before, and it's something we mentioned during the podcast, we are going to get to a point where you log on during Frenzy Feast. Maybe there are 3 or 4 of these guys available right here. I think they said they wanted to up it to 4. And I think sometimes you're not going to see Spirit Strike Slash and then like Thrust. We're going to see Spirit Thrust Slash or Spirit Thrust Strike or something like that, right? It's going to be a mix, but it's going to have like favor one of the types twice. I'm almost certain this is going to be the case. I'm almost like, I would bet like real deal money on this, right? So it gets to a point. It just gets to a point, I guess. And I'm really looking forward to something like that, because I do think that it's sort of the natural progression of the game, and I would like more incentives to obviously build more characters, because right now, as I snag this really quickly, right now, I just don't really have like a reason to build much of anything. Like, I'm having a tough time deciding on what I want to spend this on, and I guess you could say I have like a little bit of a decision paralysis going on, because I just really don't know where I want to go with this. I just don't know. And some of that does come down to the fact that I am still holding, I am still, you know, needing, can I find a piece that, I need to find a level 25 piece. I am still, of course, you know, beholden to the Stamp Nexus, right? So it is one of those things where it's like, do I replace it? Because then I need more Stamp Nexus and so on and so forth, right? So you see something like this, and you're like, And again, it would probably be the best to just go through the, use the site, the stamp site, and take a look at a lot of these pieces and see what I want for each of them. But right now, I think I'm going to just gear up some of the characters like this that really are on sort of like piddly nothing gear, which is funny, because it's like, well, wouldn't you want to use a gear selector on your strongest units? And it's like, yeah, I would, but a lot of my strongest units are fine. And without being someone that needs to, like, I don't know, without being someone that really wants to like min-max because, like, you know, B6 characters or something, it's like, I just don't know why I would continue to go over someone like Mayuri's gear with a fine-tooth comb or something. But maybe that's just me. Maybe you know, people have a different view of that. God, it's so sad we did not hit his core stamp at all during his own event, but we will be back. We will be back for that. I think we literally hit this Ascension 5 and then Buto Engine for Gin throughout these like trials, and then we hit a bunch of generics. So very, very funny that like we're just missing that so hard. But yeah, I don't know. There's not much here as I just scan through one last time that I really want to be dumping too many resources into. So that does become my bottleneck, essentially, is that I don't know what I want to use those guaranteed pieces for. Because then I need to, you know, realize, then I need to stamp Nexus them. I mean, this could be better. I could get attack percent there, obviously. This is a really good... I like this piece a lot. I mean, I guess I could get crit rate here. I need more crit rate. Yeah, okay. So that'll be the piece. I'll go here. I'll get more crit rate for this guy. But I also have... Do I have this pieces? I mean, they're fine. Yeah, I'll probably get crit rate on him. Maybe. This is a great piece. I don't need to change this at all. I mean, this literally has 5 good stats on it as well as... Yeah. Okay, so Geen will be the one. I'll switch this piece out for a crit rate piece, I imagine. I mean, we're sort of just doing homework now at this point. Like, you know, chill with me if you so dare. But I think that is what we'll go with. I mean, I imagine the average person is using a crit rate second piece. Yeah, let's go to like a less stupid, like a, you know, further down the list. Yeah, crit rate. Okay. I think that is our goal. Can I go to someone who has less? Yeah. Yeah, even people who aren't using like super boundaries. So crit rate on Geen will be our next go around. I think that'll make him a little bit better. But what else? 25,000 essentially. I mean, we're about to get our weeklies reset in a few hours, and this is gonna go up to like nearly 26,000. If you're wondering, like, oh, you know, did you break your free to play you know, your free to play position or whatever, it's like, no. I'm still the most I'm getting out of this is I restocked my monthly, which I've already made a video about. I've already talked about. I decided to grab the monthly so that I could keep up with releases. This is going to come in handy because with Pantera Grimmjow, I'm going to pull him, and then hopefully if I don't get too unlucky on, like, if I don't go to pity on him plus his weapon, I'll be able to B1 him and then B2 him, and I'll do showcases for each so that we can see what a free-to-play Pantera Grimmjow really can do at each level. I've said before, this is just reciting for anyone who hasn't been here, but my free-to-play lens is B0, B1, and B2. I think if you averagely wanted to pull characters that you loved at B1 or B2, you could do that in this game. You get a lot of currency. You get a lot of resources. It literally takes one lucky banner to just go like super, like, you know, quote unquote infinite, because like I got this character at B1 and it was fast. I think I pulled her in tickets and then I pulled her B1 in like 4,000 Jade or something like that. It was ludicrous. And same with this character. I pulled him extremely quickly and then I think I pitied his weapon. And that means that I just have like nothing to spend my Jade on, because why would I want to sit here and get, you know, a bunch of dupes for this support, right? So if you want it, like, it really only takes one lucky banner to go crazy. And with the monthly only costing $5, I have no problem with you know, using this as like a metric, right? So long as I don't dip then into being like, all right, guys, time for a free-to-play showcase. B4 here. We're going B4 every time. I'm never gonna do that. I'm never gonna be like, all right, free-to-play Boundary 4 Aizen coming up. Like, you could get this character free-to-play as a Boundary 4, by the way. If you've pulled on every time he's rerun, this is not hard. I mean, you're talking about a character that goes from doing like 100 million DPS to like, or not DPS, but total damage to like 900 million, close to 1 billion. So if you really like, with how much this character has rerun, if you really wanted to push it and be like, my Aizen is still like free to play on Boundary 4, I mean, it's not ridiculous. Genuinely, it's not ridiculous. You get so much currency. He's rerun more than any other character in the game at this point. Other than that, I'm continue to stock up my permanent character gacha. We're going to take part in the bingo that Giku is hosting, and we'll actually show that briefly. 1 second. So here we go. We've got Giku's bingo, and if you aren't in the Bleach Soul Resonance Discord, first of all, you can follow this account into that. You can go here, and then the Discord link is right there. But if you aren't in there, this will get you a little bonus of $25 if you happen to get the most bingos right. I'm going to make a separate video talking about my bingo, I think. But I'm not going to be submitting it for the $25. I do not want to take that. I don't want to possibly get it and then take it away from an active like player who's not like a content creator. Though my channel is not like some big, you know, 10,000, 100,000 follower, you know, channel. I still think it'd be kind of crummy to be the person to be like, oh, look, guys, you know, Mr. YouTube got $25. It's like, I don't know, that seems weird of me. No hate to anyone who does that, by the way. I really don't care. I mean, this is a free-to-play focused channel, so it's not like it'd be like, oh my god, you know, how dishonest, you know, you've ruined it for people. But I don't know, it feels weird. But Giku here says, here's mine. Ulkieta reveal, everyone reruns. I think they did go on to say that the top middle should be story cutscenes added back into games, but buffs are nice, or buffs are there twice. So Ulkieta reveal, everyone reruns, amazing new content, character buffs, TYBW teaser, SSR selector, 175 plus limited pulls, and then of course the cutscenes again, like we said, as well, and then tower update 2635. Tower update 2635. Let's go here. Is that around where we should be? Yeah, I guess we should, right? 2635. That is a lot of tower floors, but I think, yeah, I think it's time. I think it's time to sort of push through there. I mean, I'm still in a position where this one is pretty dicey for me. I don't know. Kenpachi has just not been able to really get it done. But yeah, I'll probably be making one of these. Like I said, I'll go through. I'll think about some ones. I'll try not to make it. I'll try not to make it feel sort of repetitive here. Like I'll try to switch them up so that they don't feel like I'm just giving you the exact same list. But we'll see. Should I just do that now? We can just make one big video. I think I will, because we're after tomorrow's video, we'll get like, you know, the live stream, and then we'll have a bunch of more information. We'll talk about that stuff. So I'm actually going to do this right now, and we'll come back and we'll break it down. Okay, so here we are. Let's go through everything. So starting in the middle, we'll go to everyone reruns. I think this is just like the most standard basic one. The reason we're saying everyone is because we have already got a confirmation that Soifon will rerun. So whether this happens on the week after or the week after that, maybe on the last week, everyone rerunning essentially needs to happen, because there are going to be, hopefully, a lot of players coming in, an influx of new players. And with an influx of new players, we have an influx of people who want to spend money, who want to reroll, etc., etc. And the best rerolls are going to be something like Pantera Grimmjow, Soifon, so you can make his full team, and then something like Aizen. You know what I mean? Like, that's going to be the kind of the optimal reroll targets for, you know, an account. Next up, 220 total pulls. I've deviated from Giku in that he just said 175 plus. I would actually say that's a low end of expectation for me. I think at least 200 pulls, but more than likely even 220 pulls sounds right throughout the course of the anniversary, whether that be through in-game content, through rewards, through returning players, through what have you. I think estimating 200 pulls is a nice big number to put on a Twitter or Facebook or what have you post, going like, hey, come play Bleach Soul Resonance and you can get 200 pulls today. You know, it just sounds good. Gear reroll. I think we might see the reveal of something gear related, in this case, something like gear reroll becoming a semi-permanent thing. Maybe every 3 weeks you'll just have access to, like, I don't know, 10 main stat changes, like main stat rerolls, or farms, where it's sort of like the in-game thing that we have now with Szayel banner, where it's just like you have at least like 30 pieces of gear you could feasibly get. So yeah, I think gear rerolling / a gear main stat rolling system could be in the cards very soon. New permanent content. Aside for, I didn't, so tower is like the obvious one, but I actually am going to go a step further and say we're going to get a new permanent mode revealed. It doesn't matter what it really is, just something permanent. We can actually go to BSR here, and thankfully I am on the tower, but you can see coming soon at this top side. I assume, I mean, it says limited time trial here. Obviously, this is, you know, is a limited event, but I would also kind of consider that to be like a semi-permanent thing, because it's sort of like, you know, it has its place in the game. It's always going to come back. Limited tower is always going to come back eventually, right? So I do kind of consider it like a permanent staple in the game's current logic, right? 4 frenzy bosses. I think we're going to go up to 4. I don't think we're going to continue to stay at 3 a week, and I think it makes complete sense right now. We need to start rewarding people who have been here long enough to actually have, you know, 4 teams. More so than that, though, we need to reward people who have pulled on characters with the same element, right? Because right now, even though, like, you could have a spirit team that is Toshiro, Kisuke, and then +1, right? Like maybe Rukia, maybe, you know, so, you know, just someone more generic, right? Like, we could actually have people build secondary spirit teams. We could have secondary strike teams right now. We really could. And we can have I think Slash is probably the one where it's hardest to have a secondary Slash team, but you know, that sort of is what it is. But we can actually start looking into this as like a feasible return. But yeah, let's get people using more characters. Let's add more incentive for people to build these weaker quote unquote characters. The standard banner update. I think it's about time, no? Like, I think it's about time we see the standard banner actually be updated. I think it's time we see the standard banner get more characters added to it. In the case of what this would mean, I don't mean them making new characters to add to the standard banner. In this case, it would be characters like, if we go down here, whoops, as we go down here, not characters like, oh, you know, Rangiku's coming, or like, you know, Big Dog Odo, or like, you know, what, any of these other like characters who have like, you know, Momo. I mean, like, add Bankai Ichigo or Toshiro to this banner. And the reason I think it's important is because of this right here. Right now, I don't think the value is super high on any of these weapon stamps, but the value of an older limited SSR's weapon getting added to that banner is huge. Because this would be, isn't this 50% crit rate? And this would go up to 25% spiritual pressure. You know what I mean? And like, I think this is like really powerful. Another character, oh my god, like if, and they're not going to do this with him, like he's not going there. But if this character got added, doesn't this go up to 30% crit rate? If you have it like dupes, like, I think the limited weapon characters just being added here, even if you never pull on this again, which you obviously will, even if you never hit like Toshido's dupes off of this banner, just getting a limited character's weapon stamp dupes is going to make this feel crazy. I genuinely think that. So, standard banner update coming to me. Next is Yamamoto revealed. So, I think that Giku's building sort of his thing around like Okieta. I would say this is just purely for me. So, one, I think it's more likely we get Okieta revealed or teased. Let me just stop right there. Okieta or Shunsui as the Slash Tactics character, I think that's way more likely. This is just for me because I want Big Daddy Yamamoto. I do. This is just for me. I want him. Bring him in. Like I said, I'm not going for the $25 like reward or anything. So this is just for me. I'm manifesting. Give me Yamamoto. I want him. If they put Yamamoto in, we're going like B0. If they tease Yamamoto, we're going like B0 Pantera or B1 Pantera, because we're saving for Yamamoto B2. 100%. I love Yamamoto so much. I'm going more specific than just character buffs, because I think their characters will be buffed, but I'm going to say Soifon buffed. I want to say, I'm not going back on what I've said previously. Soifon has not needed did not need buffs when she came out. I don't think she did. Likely, what they actually gave her as well was a quality of life buff, because I don't think she needed 25 seconds on her crit rate buff. I don't think she needed it. I think this character, that if you're playing well, and the strike team, I would say, is the hardest team in the game to play. I think this character, if you're playing well, you could get all of her buffs up. They gave her a lot of quality of life. They made it easier for people maybe on mobile, for people who maybe are just slower on the gun, like newer than, you know, people who've been playing a long time. They made her easier to use, but I don't think this character has needed numbers buff at all so far. That said, Soifon is going to have been 8 weeks ago at this point. This character will have been 4 weeks ago, which means half Pantera will be using in total, like, you know, I guess, no, technically 6 weeks ago. I was going on like a 4-month period, but 6 weeks ago. So technically this character will be 6 weeks old. I think that's an okay time to give her a little more juice as we come out with like a half Pantera character, right? As we come out with a half Annie, or not half Pantera, Pantera, half Annie character, right? Just push the team that much more, because you're gonna want Pantera to feel like the best DPS in the game, bar none. You're gonna want to have the best animations in the game, and you're going to want him to be the character we put on all the thumbnails, who goes the hardest, who does all the damage, who has all the screenshots, etc. And the best way to do that is to give Soifon the you know, been out for a while, Gin and Kenpachi and Toshiro and Aizen buff. Like, Aizen did not need buffs the day they gave him buffs. He was fine, but they gave them to him. And I think Soifon is going to be in a similar place where Soifon does not need buffs. The day she gets buffs, she does not need buffs. But they might give them to her. They really might. They might give them to her. And I don't think this is going to be like, oh, look, we were right the whole time. I think it's going to be a completely different topic happening. I think it's going to be like, make Pantera look the strongest, bar none. Because, one, the game does need to power creep a little bit, because they have not really been power creeping characters. And two, we want the half Annie character to feel like a knockout, right? And lastly, TYBW Ichigo. We saw TYBW teased on Giku's. I want to go a little more specific. I said during the podcast, it's time to put Goku in the game. Ichigo is Bleach's Goku. He is the main character. He is Mr. Money. Ichigo is not my favorite character in Bleach by any account. I wouldn't even say he's like top 10 for me, maybe. It's not that I think he's a bad protagonist or anything. He's just not. I just think that there are a lot of cool designs in Bleach. I think it's testament to Bleach that when I think of 10 characters, I don't think of the protagonist. And I think that it's sort of like one of those things where it's like, but like that doesn't happen with like Dragon Ball. When I think of 10 Dragon Ball characters, Goku's there somewhere. You know what I mean? Goku's there somewhere. Vegeta's there somewhere. That's just how it goes. Bleach has a lot of really, really strong designs. A lot of characters that are doing stuff. And for me, Ichigo just falls to the wayside. That said, that's not the case at all for the larger Bleach audience, right? Most shonen people want to see their protagonist. So I think that it's been a long time since we've seen Ichigo relevant in this game. It has been. I don't have Bankai Ichigo, but Bankai Ichigo has been phased out a long time. Other than that, we have two SRs. It is time to see an Ichigo of some kind. It 100% is. Like, look at all these characters in the game, and then he's over here. It's time to see a Bankai or Ichigo in some respects. True Shikai Ichigo, or I mean, they could do anything. It literally could be just put TYBW Ichigo Core 1 in the game. Don't make it Core 2, Core 3, Core 4. Don't make it like too much. You don't have to blow everything on him. But a TYBW Ichigo who shows up Core 1 is good enough. It's good enough. Just put him in there in some respect. He is, reveal him, tease him, what have you. I think Yamamoto reveal TYBW Ichigo teaser or something like that. Just a voice sting, just like Ichigo save Soul Society, Ichigo where are you, etc. Just something, and then like fade to black. I think that's TYBW Ichigo reveal right there, like their tease right there. Just something to hint at getting an Ichigo. We need another Ichigo. Ichigo needs to be strong. He is your main character. But that's gonna do it. I think that's it. We ended up talking quite a bit. This video ended up being pretty long. Hopefully this felt like a good little put together. I tried. I mean, there's only so many things they can reveal reasonably without making this like a, you know, oh my god, they're gonna reveal the next 5 months of characters. Like, no, obviously not. But, you know, Soifon, who is now 6 weeks old, getting a buff so that she can make Pantera look insane like they did with Aizen. Like when Aizen got a buff for like no reason. Yes. Standard banner update so that we could start getting limited characters weapon stamps easier. Yeah. New permanent content in 4 frenzy bosses, of course. Like, yeah, obviously. 220 total pulls, right? Like, let's really oversell how many pulls we get. Yeah. And I think gear reroll is probably actually the thing I'm least confident about here. I think a lot of these other ones I'm pretty confident about. Gear reroll, getting a more consistent way to reroll main stat or something, I think is a much more dicey one, but hopefully we fill that out. But yeah, I've been Lone. Big old video on the return here. Like if you like the video, subscribe to the club. We all gonna make it. Daily videos are back, and peace.